Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from the Department of Trade Consumer Protection is Michelle. She's back. I wanted to say FTC almost because we're going to be talking about this cool FTC tool that helps consumers plan for scams. You've described this to me as like the emergency contact list of everything that you would need to be prepared for. But as we plan for scams, what are we talking about here with this fun tool? And how do you plan ahead?
This is a brand new tool that the Federal Trade Commission has developed, so the FTC, as you said, and we know that scammers use lots of different stories to try and take advantage of consumers, whether it be pretending to be the government or the big box store asking us to verify information before a package is delivered, or we've missed jury duty, whatever it is. They use everything. Well, this tool will help us be responsive to that, in that we can check things out, verify them before we act, because it's a tool of how I'll avoid a scam, my action plan. It's your action plan, and really it's those contacts that you are going to turn to when you question something, when you should question something to verify if it's legitimate. So those resources will all be in one place.
We talk about doing the research before we make any purchases, and that's across the board. I've heard you say this many times, not just during the holiday season. This is like perfect for that piece. And thinking outside of just whether the holidays, like in those emergency situations, like let's say your furnace goes down. We were just talking about that. Having that contractor and making sure that you verify that you have it ready. Like being prepared just takes like one little piece of, it makes it a little bit ease and relax. Like, I know what I'm doing here and I'm not going to get scammed.
Exactly. We don't have to roll our eyes at everything. We've talked about it during the spring season, and prepare that emergency kit for knowing who you're going to turn to in a disaster and you lose your roof type situation. This is that for the overall scam situation. So we really hope families, as they come together for the holidays, will talk about that action plan. What should be on that list on the fridge? So who are going to be the resources you'll turn to when you get that email, when you get that pop-up on your computer and you don't know what to do, and it tells you to call this 800 number. I ignore that, go to my fridge, computer tech, okay, I call grandson John, or I call this tech support person, or I call my neighbor Sally to ask if she's also gotten that phone call. We talk things through, and in that way we can take some of the stress out of the situation, because we'll already have developed our list, our go-to, and we won't have to go find all those phone numbers.
It's such a good idea because, again, by having it in advance when these things come up, and they're going to come up. Clearly.
Absolutely.
It's a nonstop thing. But having that ready so you can act not in the moment, because, again, we've talked many times, too, of when you're busy, when everything is up in air, it's just really hard to, stop and really think, is this legit? Is it not? What am I doing? I'm just going to do it. Yeesh. Too much.
That list may be all full of friends and family or businesses, or maybe you're going to put consumer protection and 211 on there. So you have those additional verification resources. But yeah, we really think that this can be very valuable for many people in the family, because how are you going to respond when everyone takes a vacation and you get that phone call that Johnny's in trouble? Well, maybe you put the family password there, so you remember what it is, but we don't share it either.
Right. And it's trusted people too, right? So maybe you ask a family member, you thought that they know, and they're like, I don't know anything about this, but you should go to this person. I don't know. That's like your own best advocate. They have trusted sources too, so it's easy to go and find those. I bet at your website, DATCP, you have some resources there that could be added to the list as well. So first off, how can they find the tool? But then through your website, where could we find some other things to add maybe to that list?
Yeah, finding the tool is simple. FTC.gov, that's the Federal Trade Commission, so FTC.gov. And again, you're going to search for My Action Plan. It's how I'll avoid a scam, My Action Plan. And then call Consumer Protection at our hotline, 800-422-7128. Go to our website to find all our resources and fact sheets at datcp.wi.gov.
This is a pretty cool sheet. I'm looking at it now, and my first contact information for people I trust. It would be Michelle, DATCP. I'd put your number
Great.
down.
I'd be honored to be on the list. And, you know, the reason I say do this at the holidays is because you want to share this load so it doesn't all land on one person. So you get tech support, I'm going to take government imposter scams, and we'll divide where we
idea.
call. Yeah.
Well, and like you said, everybody might have experience in different areas. So I think that's the best way to respond to these different situations. All right, it's like having your own DATCP in your back pocket, right
Love
on
it.
the fridge. All right. Well, Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and thanks for sharing the tool.
Thank you.